everybody. Just a side note here. Um, Sorry about the quality of the sound of my mic. I didn't realize at the time when I was recording this episode and this video and the next video that my mic levels was not higher than the game level. So as you watch this, you won't be able to hear me. But I correct this after I realized this, and so in the third video, you should be able to hear me just fine. So I just figured I'd let you guys know that in fact happened. So thank you for watching.
Fictional game series, which includes another Penumbra game, Amnesia, and so on. I have all these games, so I'm playing them. I've never really heard of Penumbra games, but I've heard of Amnesia. So the fact that I guess I'm going to be experiencing all the games along with you guys as well. It'll be very interesting and fun. Change this around that way I can get this full screen or widescreen. I guess I can't get a widescreen. Oh, just jump into this. Make it easy for players who are bad at action games. Bad at action games. Recommended to suit most players and make it hard for players who want to make real challenge. The story began in February year 2000. So this would have happened 20 years ago.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
torch in the desk drawer next to the bed. It can be opened using the mouse. Holding the button down and moving the mouse. Scrolling such games. I want to look at them. Certain it's been a good decade or so, Dave. The landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got pretty decent idea of where I'm heading. Do we need it? Guess not. Look at that. I threw it. I don't know where I threw it, but I threw it. Gonna get down. Okay, there we go. Oh, so. For the smell, I'd say there's an equal chance this used to be a chest for personal belongings or meat. The torch, that's a flashlight. Flashlight switches on and off via inventory tab, or hopefully short key. Where's the emergency glow stick? Should be still in the locker. Ease in my inventory. Good thing I have my torch. I am scoundrels. Exist. The state is well. Extra batteries for power flashlight and a glow stick. It'll come in handy. The torch has run out of batteries. I should be able to access it through my inventory or the shoulder. That should be everything I need. When to get back or keep going before the dark. Alright. So I think that's everything I need. Hey, look. Oh, okay. It's nice that some things don't change no matter how far you are. But, well, is it really? What else is there? It doesn't work. Looks like it's dog park right there. Oh, no, no. Looks like a turtle right there. Oh, fisherman's wide. There's no playground on it. It looks like it's living behind. I guess we're done. As I stepped off the boat, setting out to the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how unlike the boat I'd been to discover miles past. I had no idea what to expect. So my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit at first. I lost feeling might germinate soon after a new hypothermia was setting in. I stood up and shelter. Alright, so it's cool. I am in shelters. Let's go. My entire head went numb. I go back still. Gotta make random noises. What's that? Alright. Who was talking? Okay. Jesus, man, I can't believe I fell this far to survive. Although looking around, maybe I did. What is this place? Damn, I did fall. I should have known that rusty old ladder wouldn't hold me away, but I didn't have any choice. I'd rather die down here than suffer. I wouldn't say that. Suffer from cold any longer. You never know, though. It's like a heavy woodwork. Maybe anything inside. What our torch? Ammunition boxes. D boxes ammunition. What is this place? Let's ask us. Steel rods. So I might need that. What is this? Flare. Oh, that could come in handy. Ooh, this bad boy. Alright, what do we got here? Another flare? Must be stuck. Alright. There's something on the wall over here. What does it say? Oh, emergency procedure exit. Well, looks like we're not getting out today. Another flare. What is this? Looks like spam. Not spam. Anchovies, maybe? More ammunition. Let's pull this. Oh. The hole. This hole's been bored up a long time ago. The wood looks pretty soft now. Okay, so I need something. Wait, was this hammer here before? Let's see. I can swing this hammer if I hold left mouse. I can make a backswing by pulling the mouse right and then follow through by pushing left. The opposite works too. Pulling back and then thrusting forward proceeds to stab motion. I reckon if I hold down right mouse after the backswing, I should be able to look around. Okay, why would I want to look around? Okay, so okay, now I got that. Okay, 1, 2. Hey, buddy. I don't know. I didn't see anything. Shake it up. Around. Oh, okay. Open that up. Oh, that looks. Where does this go to? Oh, it brings us back around. Okay. So I guess we're going down here now. Where's my battery life at? Not in a good state. Not in a good position. Look at our notebook. So to-do list, nothing. Notebooks, nothing. Well, we have nothing to report here. It's fine by me. Whatever I was descending into was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches. Located in a remote Arctic wilderness and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets, emergency services at the end of the phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, and lovers. All there, if something goes wrong, part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help, friends, parents, teachers who were too scared or too far away. Sorry. Pausing. I guess my brain isn't awake. Respect for my rocks. There could be anything living down here. Rogues are for Hollywood actors and fairy tales. I'm not taking any chances. If I face off against anything down here, I won't last a second. Caution and stealth are my only defenses. If anyone or anything hears me, I'd be best off staying low and out of sight until I know whether or not it's a threat. Crouching by pressing left control give me the chance to hide in the shadows. I know I've got it right because of the blue tint in my vision. Plus, I should be quiet enough that I won't be heard unless something's right on top of me. Better remember to shut off any light source though. So, are you telling me there's something down here? Okay, so let's turn this on. Like that, I'll be virtually invisible after some time. I should keep my night vision back provided I stay still. So, you have night vision. Storage, workshop, explosives, northern area. I wonder how big this place is. This place must be very old if they use paraffin lamps. Looks like there's still some juice left. Well, we don't have anything to light it. Alright, so if I'm... Alright, the workshop's this way, so the office is this way, I believe. Yes, it is. Oh, that was loud. Alright, what do we got here? What is this? Whoa. Man, an old man clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. Never seen before. I still know this man before me is Howard. I call him Father. Oh, what the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. Okay. Okay, 15th August 1945. Command Bunker, Emergency Airstrip Zulu, Weekly Report. Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment received. Standard emergency drills carried out. Routine runway maintenance completed. I have ordered maintenance to be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. One wounded figure is no cause for concern back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. Only of my men were caught manufacturing tray bombs in our workshop armory and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this and that I allowed them access to the demolition manual we keep in the storage room. I'm sure that when they learnt the ingredients, as a precautionary measure, I have now locked up the manual in the chest in my office and will keep the key in my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help think that a more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay out here, but the matter is out of my hands. The base is so disconnected sometimes, I feel as if this war could end and we might not even hear about it out here. Applies requisition order. Dynamite for excavation purposes. That bayonet's not necessarily my opinion, but procedure states we should have a full complement. One industrial ice pick, removing the damn ice that forms on the external hatch. One pair of reading glasses, category 7C. In order for myself, my glasses are in rather poor state of repair and could do with replacing. Reconditioning of the mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified from potential bomb damage and excavation of previously caved-in areas is going ahead. One point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find. Artifact, spelled wrong, buried in the earth and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover and see if I can't discover the source of the light which constantly emanates from it. Chief NCO M. Major. Great. Our officers log. Oh, this is the entrance to the cave. As caved in, there must be another way out. Backstrap. I wonder what that is. Ooh, key first. Small key. Copenhagen Post. Monday, 17th August 1930. Psychotropic deposits to the bottom of death line. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that mind-altering chemicals naturally sown into the rock may be the cause of high suicide rates at the Greenland mine. university, which has recently been conducting studies in isolated communities, first became interested in the workers of northern western lead mine last year. They discovered that even taking into account Greenland's naturally high suicide rate, local figures the last 100 years were abnormally high at 46 deaths per 100,000 populace compared to the natural average of 29. By further investigation, experts diagnosing many of the miners' symptoms in common with the earlier stages of paranoid schizophrenia. This has prompted researchers to hypothesize that natural deposits of lysergic acid, the pH4 formula recently discovered to have hallucinogenic properties, may be present in the rocks. The locals were conducted to interview, but those who agreed to speak had their own explanation. Invite spirits known as the Tumagai? Or I guess it's Tunagai, because it's not the M, not an M. Live in the mountains. The university is awaiting the results of chemical testing. Studies continue. Alright. That was a lot to read. Actually, no, the other one was a lot to read. That one wasn't as big, I guess. In there. Close. From the bottom. Close. Oh, batteries. Yeah, that looks handy. In there. Okay. So we're gonna search all these. Never know what could be in these. Don't see anything in that one. I don't think there's anything in that one. Can we move this? I guess not. What is this? Too much history in this place, tied in words and left to decompose. Yeah. A lot of rotten wooden shelves. Must be added moisture from the grate. The whole room is putrefying. Grab that. It's locked. I need a key, which I do in fact have. What's in here? Big Book of Explosions, 1923 edition. Okay, I'm not going to read all this. If you guys want to read it, we can. I'm just going to skim through it. Don't need string. I guess this is basically telling me how to make explosives. Green, black gunpowder, backstring. So I have backstring. A string should be coated with a thin layer of backstring. Access an adhesive string. So basically, it's just telling me how to make. Okay, so this is telling me how to make explosives. So this will be probably needed later. I say that diatomaceous earth, 3 parts nitroglycerin, grease, and then a small amount of sodium carbonate. Basically, I guess TNT was first discovered in 1863 by German chemist Joseph Wilbrink. It took some years before it yielded its true potential. This was because of the difficulty of making it explode and the lesser detonation in comparison to dynamite. The main advantage was discovered by the German Navy, who employed TNT's relative explosive stability in order to cause massive damage to British warships. Torpedoes could be detonated inside a ship's armor rather than explode by contact as did on the shells. Okay, Armstrong's mixture. So red phosphorus and barium. So I guess that it helps us out since nothing changed to the to-do list. What is this? Painkillers. I don't know if it's a good sign, but I mean, better to have them, not need them, than need them, not have them. What is this? Beef jerky. So we searched that desk. So we searched this desk. Oh, what is this? No more beef jerky? Oh, thank you. Alright, and then you got a typewriter here. Typewriter dates back further than the war, made in Germany, 1923. Alright. I miss being outside already. This place is starting to get to me. But even if I could reach the grate, it looks built into the rock itself. No way, it's coming loose. Yeah. stuck down here now. So what is this? Picture of British platoon must date back to World War II. The specimen was converted into some kind of bunker. I feel like it would have been. So why don't we click this again? I may never get used to that. Let's do it again. Okay, yeah, nothing changes. Alright. So... I don't know why we need the padlock. Why do we need the padlock? Beef jerky. Not without aroma? Not without aroma. So we can't eat it. Put that in 1, I guess. I don't think there's really anything. Oh, well, you can do G for glow stick. Okay. I might turn this off. Let's just keep going. I really don't want to hoist a glow stick. Gosh, there's something else down here. We're gonna need to hide. Shit. My first encounter. Something. Jesus, I've never been scared in my life. I can feel my heart racing. If anything gets within more than a few feet of my hiding spot, I go down and stare at it out. Anything with my field of vision will panic me, and then I'm a goner. This is kind of like amnesia. I don't know where it went. Can't see anything. I'm sure you guys can't see shit either. But with the night vision, we'll be able to get a little bit of a better view of things. Shit, I wish we had a map. But I am going to stop right here, and I will continue on in the next one. So I'll see you then. Bye bye.